Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen news. I have just come back from a reunion stag weekend and I am a little bit shattered and broken, but we will persevere. We've got updates on the 3.18 alpha build, a quick summary of the last Inside Star Citizen and Star Citizen Live, and highlights of the goings on from Cloud Imperium last week. So from the Star Citizen newsletter, experience Alpha 3.18 in the PTU. Alpha 3.18 is now open to all backers in the PTU. Hop into the verse and experience persistent entity streaming, pairs, ship salvage, new missions, new derelicts, and more. So we have had another PTU patch over that weekend. Let's go through actually what the little updates were there. They adjusted the M50 atmospheric tuning based on racing performance feedback to bring it more in line with other races. Sort of bug fix wise, the patch had loads and loads of fixes for trams and public transport, so they try not to get jammed in each other, they slow down for each other, and they try not to collide. They have put some extra logic in, apparently, that if they do get stuck, it sort of forces them to go into a reset position, so the trams don't get permanently broken is the idea here. This is temporary and will be immersion breaking for now if and when it happens, so yeah, it's a temporary workaround, as they don't want trams to get permanently stuck because it breaks the game for people. So the fixes they made here: trams should no longer become stuck when they reach their destination. Various ships and vehicle paints were fixed. Walking in shallow water makes the area around you darker, or at least it did until they fixed it. The mining UI was too small and too hard to read. Vehicles were unable to lift off from pads after they were retrieved from the ASOP terminals, which was an awful bug. The security contractor evaluation mission was not offered again after failure. Gems were appearing with the wrong name in player inventories. Spawn cloudets had viz area issues when being opened. After snapping to cargo grids, RMC commodity crates couldn't be reattached again to a tractor beam. The top airlock of the Reclaimer lacked appropriate collision. Some ships that could hold cargo were showing with a cargo capacity of 0. Party members who died in ship combat were then unable to be detected by anyone when they were on foot or in vehicles. So this is potentially one of the many invisible player bugs that people have been talking about recently again. Designated hangars did not display on the ASOP terminal after retrieving a ship. All ships were blurred in the VMA. There were some issues with sort of buying and selling things from ships that were stored. Clinic pharmacy kiosk terminals didn't have sales inventory displayed. FPS harvestable rocks would become unresponsive after charging and did not fracture. The derelict wrecks had incorrect highlight colors when targeted in salvage mode. The trams were out of sync with station timers, causing trams to overlap or not appear on time. But as we said, hopefully trams should be relatively fixed in 3.18 on the PTU at the moment, even though some of it's just temporary fixes while they sort out some other bits. They also fixed additional 15 client crashes and 9 server crashes. I did also see a PTU update 2 that they posted up on the forums as well. The post just said, we deployed a hotfix that is anticipated to significantly reduce the frequency of crashes and 30Ks in the PTU. This fix aims to address the stability issues that have been causing disruptions and hindering your ability to effectively playtest 3.18. We are grateful for your continued participation and feedback, and we look forward to hearing how this hotfix has affected your experience on the PTU. See you in the game. Now, I've been unable to play that latest PT patch because, as I said, I was away for the weekend, so hopefully that has resolved a lot of people's issues if you are having terrible 30k and crashy times. Cloud Imperium did recently unveil the Scorpius Antares, which is a QED EMP variant of that Scorpius ship, which appears to be going through some flux, or more accurately, the leaks on the ship have been somewhat erratic. We don't know what Cloud Imperium are doing. Maybe the leaks actually have been really accurate, but Cloud Imperium keep on changing their mind. The ship will be able to do both some form of quantum dampening / jamming / snaring and EMP, but will the ship be able to do both quantum snaring and jamming? We don't know. It looks like it might just be a jammer and EMP ship, and then the Mantis obviously can do a lot more of the quantum stuff's more focused on that, so it would be able to snare you as well. Is it overpowered, the ship? We don't know. We'll know a lot more once it releases with 3.18 live. There are just too many unanswered questions at the moment. Inside Star Citizen last week, so this looked at server meshing. But Cloud Imperium are basically building a multi-part series on the sort of road to Alpha 4.0 and getting server meshing in the game. And recently Cloud Imperium basically built out and talked about the roadmap to getting pyro and static server meshing out the door. They've been having a big conference on that and getting that all sorted. They want it in players' hands as quickly as possible. There is a big summary of that episode in my on my channel in a lot more detail, so go check that out if you're interested. There's not a huge amount of new tangible information there other than there is all systems go with server meshing at the moment. Star Citizen Live. So with this, they talked with the narrative team and what sort of things did narrative do, what have they been working on. So narrative touches on almost every part of Star Citizen's gameplay, and the team help world build a lot. They make missions, the Galactopedia stuff. They help deal with characters and ships. And I said, well, they help make missions. The standard system started with the narrative teams before actually starting to be built out. So some things get built out entirely by narrative first. They sort of touch that system first, and then it becomes reality. Other times there'll be some work going into a feature or an area. Then the narrative team come along and advise and help guide. Lore does sometimes get retconned and changed and updated. Star Citizen is an alpha after all, and sometimes things just naturally evolve. The floating city of Orison is another example of something that Cloud Imperium had narrative flesh out fully, and then sort of went into the concept and then designing process afterwards. So yeah, not everything starts with the lore team. It looks to sort of be an organic process. Some things start with them, some things don't. Mission givers, they get a lot of time from the narrative team. Obviously, they want to build a believable, living, breathing sort of NPC there. Features like salvage, yeah, the narrative team sort of help guide designers on how to bring that sort of feature to the game. They've built out some props like the Banu Cube in narrative that then, because of their popularity, got put in the game. They've worked on things like the avian armor, which people seem to like. They are still in the process of developing several alien languages. These are functional languages in the same way that sort of Klingon is functional. Tessa Bannister, the original mission giver or mission chain giver, she's still AFK, but they do want her to return in the future. We should see her again, and we'll hear her again at some point. I believe the last time they talked about it as well, they said they're going to wait until there's more sort of deeper exploration and scanning missions. The sneak peek this week looks to be something from the new underground facilities that we know Cloud Imperium are working on, that we originally saw at CitizenCon 2022. I did see a quick little thread that I want to go over on Spectrum, choosing start location dilemma. Now with 3.18 you won't be able to change starting locations with character reset because of this new sort of character fixing tool rather than a full character reset. So it's permanent until the next patch, at least sort of. What starting location will people choose and why? Xylo responded, I tend to rotate them seasonally. Second half of the year is always New Babbage, while Orison is the first half. After 3.19 though, I'll be in Area 18 more because that is the place to start for the new player with the new player experience, focusing on ArcCorp. It's enjoyable to help the new recruits with their first steps. So that's really interesting to know that, yeah, it's going to be ArcCorp where you're going to find a lot of players want to start because of the new player experience there, and sort of like a the first true in-game tutorial for the persistent universe that we've got for Star Citizen, or at least some way of navigating the game without having to look at external videos or be taught by a friend. Boom! That's it for your Star Citizen news today. Have you been playing Alpha 3.18 over the weekend? What was your experience of that? Great? Terrible? Did they fix your bugs? Any of those bugs that I mentioned that they had fixed? Not actually fixed? How are Trams for you? How are your 30Ks? What do you think of the Scorpius and Terries? Do you think it's super overpowered? Are you really excited for it? Do you not care for it at all? Do you think Cloud Imperium are going to plow through to 4.0 sort of with an Evocati at the end of the year, or sort of something in our hands by the middle of next year for sort of server meshing and Alpha 4.0? Or do you think they're going to hit so many problems and there's going to be so many things that go wrong and it's going to be something that's delayed and delayed and delayed further? Whatever your thoughts, I'd really love to hear from you in the comments below.
That's the last chevron locked in, Mr. Daniel Jackson, who is legally distinct from any doctors of the same name. We've done it. We've connected to another world. Daniel Jackson, we're being hacked through the gates to the stars, which is also legally distinct from any other gates that travel to the stars. We should have got NordVPN, Daniel Jackson. we would have been able to browse the internet safely, access our favourite content on Netflix, and we would have been able to have privacy. We would have had less of these Egyptian-looking snake people attacking us too.
You should check out nordvpn.com/BoredGamer and get yourself a great deal on NordVPN. Just click the link in the comments section below. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For February, it's for a Crusader Spirit C1, the very cool looking multi-crew, multi-role competitor to the Cutlass Black and Freelancer. As it's a concept ship, you'll get a Cutlass Black until it's made flyable. You'll get lifetime insurance with the ship and a game package for Star Citizen 2, so all you need to play. Just comment on any of my videos made during the month to be in for a chance of winning that. If you would like to further support the channel, then consider becoming a Patreon or using that join button under my YouTube videos to become a channel member. It goes a massive way to helping us make videos every day, and you'll get some exclusive content from me and Zinnia from time to time too. Become a board gamer today!